Welcome to IOM Plainsboro. My name is Anthony Cancro, Township Administrator. Today I'm joined with three professionals from the Township of Plainsboro. Les Varga to my right, he's the Director of Planning and Zoning. Neil Blitz, the Director of Public Works to my left. And also James Earl, the Assistant Superintendent of the West Windsor Plainsboro School System. We're here today to talk about Grover's Mill brand new bike path. I'm going to talk to Les first about, Les, tell me the significance of the bike path and why we built it.
Well, Anthony, this new section is really a connection between an older section that was built from the Grover's Mill developments towards the schools, but there is no pathway in front of the two schools. So this actually provides a missing link between the schools and the roadway Coral Lane just behind us.
And tell me how it was funded. I know a path like this is not inexpensive, and I suspect there was other funding sources other than the township.
That's right. We actually had to go to the NJDOT, the Department of Transportation, to get funding for this. They do an annual solicitation for municipalities. We tried for a few years and then we went back and were successful this time. So we actually got the full funding, $242,000 for this particular bikeway. It cost a little more because of some of the regulatory problems we had to deal with, but we got it done and we got it under budget.
And from a planning perspective, talk about the importance of the connectivity of what was not here before and what it achieved.
Well, the municipality has a master plan. Within that master plan is a circulation element. And part of that circulation element are bikeways and pathways. So if you really look at it from a holistic standpoint, one should be able to bike or walk around the whole municipality without touching a roadway. And this is a missing link that was very, very much needed to complete that portion of the bikeway.
Great. Thank you, Les. Neil, tell me a little bit about the bike path from a construction point of view, because this is not just laying asphalt down on the ground. I know we had some, as Les said, some regulatory challenges. Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Absolutely. Well, originally it was just grass. Grass was there with nothing else. All right. So what we did is we tore up the whole entire area. So that path is 8 feet wide. However, it's not your typical path. We dug down 4 feet deep, 8 feet wide. All right. And then what we did is we installed 4 feet of 3-inch stone. On top of that, we then installed approximately about a top layer of 3/4 inch stone, clean stone. On the sides of the trench, we put fabric on it so none of the soil would then mitigate into the stone area. On top of that 3/4 inch clean stone, we then put 2 inches of porous pavement. That's what Les referenced for the issues that we had for environmental. Porous pavement theoretically is when it rains, the rain soaks into the pavement, and then since they're porous means that it's able to go through. It then percolates down into that top course, the 3/4 inch stone, and then from there it actually percolates down to that 4 feet depth, 8 feet wide of 3-inch stone. Then what's supposed to happen is the water is then supposed to percolate out into the ground and back into the natural water system down below.
Tell me what are the voids. Tell me the reason why this is not a porous. If it was porous, what are the regulators concerned about? What would happen?
Well, what would happen is that if this was non-porous pavement, the water would then just go on top of the asphalt and then just wash into the stormwater system. So it would just take off, and then what they call sheet flow. The water would just flow off the asphalt and down the road. So here what happens is, actually if you think about it, there is underneath the feet, underneath that porous pavement, think about like a channel filled with stone, and the water is able to sit in that channel through the stone and then percolate back into the soil.
So it's almost like a sponge. It's absorbed and then it slowly goes into the earth instead of sheathing off into the road.
Correct.
Thank you, Neil. James, a couple questions. Let's just switch here. Tell me the significance of this collaboration between the township and the school district. Why is it important?
Well, I think it's very important for a couple of reasons. One is creating a continuous link between the two paths allows for students and families now to think about the possibility of taking bike transportation to and from school, which could certainly improve the traffic conditions around both schools.
From a driving point of view,
from a
right?
driving point of view, if you've been here in the mornings,
Yeah.
you can see the congestion
Couple
that
less
takes
parents
place.
that have to drive their kids to school.
So hopefully over time someone can feel safe. So if you had an obstruction in the link like we used to have with grass, someone might say, well, I don't want my child walking, or I don't see a clear path. Now with a clear path, I know I was here recently and I saw a few more kids on bikes. And I'm not here all the time, but it was interesting to see that. And we may see more walking and or biking to school, which might alleviate some of the traffic conditions with three buildings so close in proximity.
So it's also a safety issue as well.
Yeah.
Now you have a safe path,
Safe pass.
and
yeah.
it alleviates less cars possibly being on the road. It
Right.
gives children some exercise opportunities.
Yeah, I was
And
going.
it's, and it's, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Yeah.
I said I was from a healthy perspective, because we are certainly encouraging young people to be active in all types of ways. This can be, if you're here in the afternoons, you see kids walking and riding more often. From a health perspective, we might be able to increase or encourage more young people to walk on clear days and nice days to make it to and from school. So.
And I know the school district was an eager partner to help us out with this project, and I think they're going to be maintaining the project going forward. And I think it's a wonderful partnership between the district and the township. I want to thank you for the interview, and I want to also thank the district for their contribution to this project.
Thank you.
Les and Neil, thank you very much for your work on the project, and thank you all for joining us today on I Am Plainsboro. Hopefully you'll come out soon and ride on the bike path behind me. Thank you.